The holidays are right around the corner, and hosting a dinner party doesn't have to be super stressful, even though it usually is. And whether it's for your family, your friends, or your coworkers even, I'm just gonna take you through how I would plan a dinner party, specifically using our products, and I'm really excited to get into it. Hey there, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Aurele, and today I'm going to go over how to host a dinner party and specifically using our hosting meal planner inserts. So looking here at this planner, we're gonna flip right open to our inserts. And I'm just gonna give you a quick look at the demo page of this insert. So at the top here for the hosting meal planner inserts, we have appetizers and a grocery list. Then we have our main courses, our drinks, and our dessert list. And this is pre-filled out just because it's a demo page. And then on the back, we have some event details, date, location, time, kind of a blank spot to write more things, your guest list, which then just kind of turns into a task list. And then you have a little to-do section down there. So I'm just going to show you how I kind of fill that out here. So let me just give you a closer up look first. So for my dinner party, I was just thinking like, what would I want to do? You know, what are like things that are in season? What do I want to base this on? And I wanted it to feel like a really cozy afternoon and just kind of thinking about what would bring that all together. So I named it like an autumnal afternoon. That is the theme. It's all just about celebrating fall, what's in season, and just gathering for like a nice hearty meal. And then when deciding for like what's my through line, I think like something that can make the dinner party feel kind of cohesive is to have an element that's like woven through the entire thing. So this time I chose apples, nothing revolutionary, but I wanted apples to be in each part of the dish. And kind of when you think about apples, it's refreshing, but it can also be like a dessert. They're slightly sweet, but they go really well with savory meals. So I just thought that was like a perfect thing. I was like, this can work with everything. So I chose apples to kind of base this whole dinner party off of. So with my autumnal afternoon name and my theme set, I'm going to go reach out to anyone that I want to invite. And I have my guest list written down here. And I wrote down I want to invite Candace, Becca, Emily, Cheryl, Em, Alex, Ria, Danny, and Isabel. So all my coworkers and then a few close friends. And check your calendars early enough in time for any conflicts that arise. Maybe just like shoot a text to people. And on the guest list here on my insert, I can just check off like who's an absolute yes. And then also by the guest list, I put these little asterisks. I'll go over that a little bit later, but it's nice to be able to like have space to kind of like write some details about people like on your planner. And then the second thing to get started with your dinner party is to decide, is this formal or is this casual? Like when I'm inviting these people, like where is it? Who am I inviting and what are we doing? And up here, I put down an autumnal affair too, another little name for it. I chose my date. The location is just going to be my front patio. And then the time is 7 p.m. till whenever. I love using that as like a time reference because I'm like, it really is till whenever. Maybe I don't stay till 3 a.m., but we can go as long as we want, you know? Like I don't want to set a cap on like having a good night. And then in the details such as like what to dress for, since it's casual, like there's no dress code per se, but I think it's fun to give a little prompt. So I just would write to people in the invite like, hey, what if we all wore our favorite sweater? What if we wore our favorite fall outfit? But yeah, wear your favorite sweater. I thought that'd be really nice for a casual dress code. So that's everything about like just setting your event details to start. It's all about getting that guest list written down. And then, yeah, just decide whether you're doing like formal or casual, just like get the rough outline of like what you want this time to be for like yourself and the people you're inviting. So next, we're briefly going to talk about the guest list in the RSVP section. I've already discussed how you should maybe get those a little bit out ahead of time. You can use digital methods for that if you'd like to. I personally like to just kind of like write on the sheet of paper. But one thing to consider when you're inviting people and nailing down your guest list is like dietary restrictions or any other things surrounding food and drink in general. So on my guest list here, I have these little asterisk stickers, and that ties back to this section I wrote in the detail section that, you know, I have 2 people who are vegetarian or that are coming, and I have someone who's gluten-free, and I just tagged their names for that so that I can just kind of remember like, hey, like, you know, when we start building the menu, maybe like we have to take that into consideration for them. The detail section is a really great way to kind of like get some more of those finer details written down and just start planning for them. And so after going back and forth a little bit, like if you want to use the digital method too, like I would write off the final yeses for people and just start checking them off on my insert. Luckily, everyone is coming to my dinner party, so we've got checks across the board. But if anyone decides not to come or you have to reconfigure it or whatever else it is, I put it on a little page pin just so I could, you know, bring it back up and like lay a new one down and revise that. And thinking more about the guest list and RSVP and invites, you can do the snail mail way, you know, like we have these cards, and I thought it would be really nice and cute to kind of take the time and hand write out some invites. Luckily, I see almost all of these people pretty much on a daily or weekly basis, so it wouldn't be hard to hand these off. I'm not mailing this out because I've used our little cute stamp stickers, which do not send mail with these. They're not real stamps. They just are cute and look like it. And we have some cute types too. I even made this one with a little page flag. Yeah, isn't that so nice? I think like getting a handwritten, hand-delivered invite to a dinner party would be so, I don't know, that would really make me want to go. Like just putting in that level of effort, I would just know that it's going to be a good dinner party, you know, like I want to be there. And this is our Realisati like selection, which is like a little bit more kind of like lovey-dovey themed or something like that, which like I love my friends, but they have some nice just kind of like neutral cards as well. So I designed 2 types of invites that I would send out. This one says wish you were here, because I know that kind of leans more into like I miss you sort of thing, but I think that could be so fun for an invite, like, oh, I wish you were here at my party, so you should come. And when I designed these, just super simple, like some square page flags, another page flag there, you're invited to an autumnal evening. I marked out the when, the where, and like the little dress code. And then this one, I did a big statement for like the title of the party, and then I listed all the other information on there too. So I think that'd be really sweet. I'd be so happy to get a friend who invited me to a dinner party in this way. So another thing I've done is I made a little seating arrangement and chart on the back of this note, and I wrote down like who I wanted where. I think it can be effective to do like a little seating chart, even though it's casual. Like I think it's fun to place people next to each other and see like kind of what conversations people will have, or, you know, to make people feel comfortable. I also wrote down that I wanted a little end table for the drinks and extras and the lamp to be there. We have a bench here with extra storage, like if we need something like replaceable napkins, drinks, cups, or whatever, that could be on the bench so that it's not crowding up the table. And then the last thing is I put myself kind of near the head of the table, but also near my porch door so that I have easy access to get back inside, and that it's a little seamless if I have to go and check on something. Like I don't want to disturb everyone by getting up, going back and forth. And I sat someone next to me so that, you know, it's not just empty all of a sudden. But yeah. The final things on my hosting meal planner I put down here is a budget. It's great to have a budget in mind so that you're not just spending on everything. I set my budget to $250 for all of the groceries and decorations, and I added in that friends are free to chip in or bring their own drink, whatever makes them comfortable. And then I have a to-do list down here. So on my to-do list, I said create the menu, pre-made versus day of food. I'm going to check that off because we did that. The shopping list, I did put down the food and decor that I needed, and make my guest list and send the invites, and then I need to clean and prep my porch for this night. So I did make the guest list, but I still have to deliver my invites. And then I'm waiting to clean and prep my porch. All right, next we have the menu planning for the evening. And when we flip to the front here, I showed you all the sections that said like appetizer, main course, drinks, and dessert. And I also mentioned earlier that apples are kind of my through line here. So we want to pick dishes that complement each other. We want to adhere to any dietary restrictions that our guests let us know about. And we also maybe want to think about anything that we can plan ahead or that we can make the day of for this. Genuinely, I think Pinterest is such a good way to kind of like get your inspiration going. Like I put all my meal ideas there. So I made a little board for this called an autumnal afternoon. And not only does it have the decorations and things that like I'm thinking of for the ambiance of the night, but I also put the dishes down that I really want to hone in on. And since apples are my through line, that's going to be pretty much in almost every section of the night. So using that, I chose that I wanted to have a little autumn harvest Honeycrisp apple feta salad, which is gluten-free vegetarian. And then another small appetizer could be rosemary pumpkin bites, and that could also be gluten-free and vegetarian depending on how you make it. And if I'm thinking about this, I think I'm going to put a little dot next to the rosemary pumpkin bites because I do think I could make this like a day in advance, and that would be perfectly fine. So I'm just going to mark everything that could be made ahead with a little highlighter. For the main courses, I put down a butternut squash ravioli with sage and a brown butter sauce, and that is vegetarian. The second one would be a chicken skillet with apple leeks and potatoes, and that one is not vegetarian, but it is gluten-free. So there's that, a little pick and choose. For drinks, I could definitely make the pomegranate mocktail ahead of time. And that will be considering anyone who doesn't want to drink that night or who is sober. So I love having those options that aren't just water or like an apple juice around. I think, you know, we're all adults here. We all want a nice adult drink. So sometimes that doesn't include alcohol. And the other one I would do for people who do want to drink a little bit would be an apple cider Prosecco spritz. And I would make that the day of because of the spritz component. And then for dessert, I thought about doing a poached pear cardamom cake with a spiced apple cream. And so then on the right side here, we have our grocery list, which I kind of broke out into two tiny little sections. At the bottom section, that is for more decor and things that I have to get. Like I wrote down like I need taper candles, I need maybe some ribbons, maybe some battery candles if I want to hang it from like somewhere on the porch ceiling. I want to get my cloth and paper dust bags and my envelopes and some pine cones and fall leaves, those things that like aren't necessarily food related. And then at the top here, I do have my food list, which I could have done a better job about separating it into different categories of the store, like, you know, produce, protein, dairy. So I would suggest that if you're gonna write this down again. But yeah, I just straight up have my grocery list. You can break down prep tasks over multiple days. Like for the things I marked off, maybe you write down, choose a date that you want to start doing those. So if it's the 26th, maybe for the rosemary pumpkin bites, I would do that on the 25th. And for the mocktail, I could also do that the day before as well. And kind of get into the details of what I'm making in the morning versus night. Like maybe the dessert, I can make that in the morning because it involves some baking. That's going to take a little bit of time. The chicken I can make in the afternoon. The salad I would make in the afternoon so the apples don't brown too much in there and that the arugula doesn't kind of wilt. And then the ravioli I would make, I think I would start making it kind of during the appetizer section. Like, you know, do my host duties in the beginning and then kind of fade away once it gets going just to whip up the ravioli real quick. But I could have everything prepped beforehand. And then for the drink, I love setting up a drink station and just letting people serve themselves because that takes something off my plate. It gives people something to do during then, and I will just be topping it off throughout the night. So looking at the insert here, we've noted what things that we want to have prepped in advance, like a day in advance. But it's also good to know, like, and to have a timeline in mind and to be like, okay, I'm going to have the appetizers laying out when the people get here. I'm going to have my drinks ready, set up in my little drink station so people can come in, grab a bite to eat immediately, grab a drink, and just get the night going. I'm gonna have my little cards laying out. I'm gonna have the table, like the candles lit. I'm gonna have the music playing and the record selection lined up already. I'm gonna have a movie playing. Like, I want it to be ready, but that by no means means that we're done with the night. Having a timeline in mind for serving the courses is great. Appetizers ready to go. You make some small talk, invite people in, make them feel comfortable, and then as the host, you get to slip away, make sure that the food's going all right. I love designating like 1 or 2 friends to come over early to kind of help me prep, but also just to buffer this space. So 1, prep as much beforehand as possible. 2, we're going to keep the drinks and the snacks refilled and flowing. I think when things start to reach the bottom of the bowls and the bottom of the like drink containers, in like psychologically in people's minds, they're like, oh, the night's winding down, things are empty. So like a big job would be just to like be laying out more of those little rosemary bites we have going on, lay out some more chips, refill the drinks, prep enough beforehand that people don't feel like there's a scarcity of something and that they are like either waiting for the next food to drop or they are feeling like, oh, should I leave soon? Like things are running out. So keep those stocked. For setup and ambiance, I think it is so important to kind of like get the vibe right, especially if you're going for something a little more themed like I am. So I actually attached this checklist notepad piece of paper here for like more of my inspiration. And my inspiration was more like, I love the movie Practical Magic. So I wanted it to feel kind of like that, just a little bit like earthy tones, maybe some dried flowers or vegetation around. I want it to be cozy, maybe have some lace details, rosemary sprigs, lots of candlelight, obviously, maybe some hanging decor, like talking about those hanging candles on the porch. And I put midnight margaritas as a question mark, like maybe if someone stays over really late, we'll have a midnight margarita. And just kind of choosing my color palette. Like I want amber and jewel tones. I want it to be nature focused. I'm focusing on what's in season and thinking about spiced flavors and warming spices that can be used throughout the dishes. So it's like you're cozy on the inside, you're cozy on the outside. It just sounds like a great night. Maybe I'll also do a stovetop simmer pot as well, just to kind of like make the house smell really good. And then thinking about my tablescape too, I want it to be warm, moody, and organic. So I'm going to forage some small branches and berries with fall colors and use low bowls to kind of like gather those together. I love foraging for centerpieces. You don't have to go to the store to buy your centerpiece. You can just go outside and pick up some branches with some leaves on it and call it a day. My family does that every year and I love it. And then again, taper candles, essential. So yeah, I love brainstorming and just like attaching like a sticky note or sheet onto there. So in the extras and miscellaneous section, I put that I want to create a fall playlist. I want to have some table games laying around or some favors and a really nice tablescape. For the fall playlist, I thought about doing a vinyl playlist because I do have vinyl and a record player, and I think that would give a really nice touch to the evening, just like something a little more analog. And I love having little party favors or just things to do laying around. So I think having a card deck would be really great and just like playing card games. I also think like the invites are another tactile touch if you want to make that interactive. I know so many of you have these dust bags laying around and you're like, what do I do with these? I feel like a really quick, easy party favor to do would be to make a simmer pot set and just have all the dried materials ready to go and place them on their little place setting so that when they get home they can make their own simmer pot and kind of feel like this is something they get to take away physically from the night and the dinner. So all of these small touches really just make your guests feel invited. It makes them feel special, and I think it's really memorable as something to do. Next big thing is to just enjoy the night. You know, get all your main courses done, serve your desserts, have a really great time. Maybe have some conversation prompts in the middle. You're just gonna take the time to enjoy your night. Make sure that you schedule that in your little timeline too. Like, we want to make sure that this is something that you want to do again, you know? Dinner parties can be fun when you're having them at your house. They don't have to be stressed the entire time. For cleaning and wrapping up, even though that we try to be sustainable, I think it does make sense in some ways to use something disposable just to help with that. So maybe if you don't have table napkins that day, you just go with regular napkins so you don't have to throw them in the wash. The next is clear the dishes in batches. Maybe just like stack everyone's up, wait till the last person's done, clear it in one go. Same thing with the empty containers, just to make it more effective. Clean as you go. And then last thing, leftovers, just store those right away so that the food isn't just, you know, sitting there all night once people are clearly done eating. Dinner parties can be fun, stress-free, and really memorable when you just know to prep ahead and what to prep ahead. Whether you're using our hosting meal planner inserts or, you know, your own method, I think taking a lot of these steps can just ensure that your guests have a really nice night, that they want to come back, and also it's going to be sustainable for yourself when you realize it's not a hectic, dire situation to be like, you know what, I really enjoyed that and I'm going to host another dinner party soon. So not only is it great for them, it's great for yourself too. So since I'm getting a little more into throwing dinner parties and little events at my house, I would love to know in the comments below. Just tell me your favorite hosting tip, if you have any, your favorite dinner party tip or something memorable that you remember from going to one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more planner and productivity videos coming out this holiday season. Bye. Thank you.